Good morning. Today we're going to continue to read There's a Boy in the Girl's Bathroom, chapter 6, 7, and 8. We left off where Bradley's mom had been to a meeting with his teacher and it did not go well. But mom came home and lied to dad and said that Brad was doing really well. I wonder why she did that. I think she's trying to protect him, maybe. So Bradley goes to school the next day and he meets up with Jeff and they're kind of striking up a kind of a strange friendship. So let's see how that goes. Jeff Fishkin was hopelessly lost. He clutched his hall pass as he looked down the long, empty corridor. The school seemed so big to him. In some schools, when you have to go to the bathroom, you have to have a pass that allows you to pass through the hallways to get to the bathroom. He was on his way to see the new counselor. She was supposed to help him adjust to his new environment. He not only didn't know how to get back to her office, he had no idea how to get back to Mrs. Ebel's class either. The floor was slippery. It had started raining during recess, and the kids had tracked water and mud inside with them. A teacher carrying a stack of papers stepped out of the door, and Jeff hurried to her. "Can you please tell me where the counselor's office is?" he asked. His voice trembled. The teacher first checked to make sure he had a hall pass. Then she said, "The counselor's office. Let's see. Go down to the hall to the end, turn right, and it's the third door on your left." "Thank you very much," said Jeff, and he started to go. "No, wait," said the teacher. "That's not right. She's in the new office in the other wing. Turn around and go back the way you just came, then turn left at the end of the hall, and it's the second door on your right." I have a feeling Jeff is pretty confused right now. "Thank you," Jeff said again. He walked to the end of the hall, turned right, counted to the second door on his left, and pushed it open. A girl with red hair and a freckled face was washing her hands at the sink. When she saw Jeff, her mouth dropped open. "What are you doing in here?" she asked. "Huh?" Jeff uttered. "Get out of here," she yelled. "This is the girls' bathroom." "Aha! There's a boy in the girls' bathroom. I thought it would have been Bradley that went in there, but apparently it's Jeff." Jeff rose. He covered his face with his hands and then dashed out the door. "There's a boy in the girls' bathroom!" the girl screamed after him. He raced down the hall. Suddenly his feet slipped out from underneath him. He waved his arms wildly as he tried to keep his balance, then flopped down on the floor. "Oh, no, 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 oh, no, no, no," he groaned. "What have I done? Oh, why didn't I just read the sign on the door? This is the worst day of my whole life." Suddenly he realized he was no longer holding the hall pass. He stood up and frantically looked around. "Don't tell me I dropped it in the girls' bathroom." He heard someone coming and hurried off in the opposite direction. He rounded the corner, then spotted what looked like some kind of strange storage room. It was cluttered with boxes. He ducked inside and closed the door behind him. "Hello," said a voice. He spun around. A woman stepped off a yellow ladder. "You must be Jeff," she said. "I'm Carla Davis." She smiled and held out her hand. "I'm so glad you've come. I was afraid you might get lost." So he did make it to the counselor's office after all. Jeff sat at the round table. The counselor sat across from him. "So how do you like Red Hill School?" she asked. He stared straight ahead. "There's a boy in the girls' bathroom," echoed inside his head. "I imagine it must seem a little scary," said the counselor. He didn't answer. "I think it's scary," she said. "It seems so big. Anytime I try to go anywhere, I get lost." He smiled weakly. "It's hard for me because I'm new here," she explained. "Today is only my second day of school. I don't know anybody. Nobody knows me. The other teachers all look at me strangely. It's hard for me to make friends with them. They already have their own friends." "I know what you mean," Jeff said. "Maybe you can help me," said the counselor. "Me?" said Jeff. "How can I help you? I'm the one who needs help." "Well, maybe we can help each other. What do you think about that?" "How?" "We're the two new kids in school," she said. "We can share our experiences and learn from each other." Jeff smiled. "Okay, Miss Davis," he said. "Jeff," she said, "if we're going to be friends, I want you to call me Carla, not Miss Davis." He laughed. "Do you think Carla is a funny name?" "Oh, no, I just never called the teacher by her first name, that's all." But we're friends. Friends don't call each other Miss Davis and Mr. Fishkin, do they? Jeff laughed again. No, he said. Then he frowned. The kids in my class call me Fish Face. Have you made any friends? Asked Carla. I sort of made one friend, said Jeff, but I don't like him. Oh, we know who that is. I bet you it's Bradley. How can he be your friend if you don't like him? Nobody likes him. At first, I felt sorry for him because nobody wanted to sit next to him. Miss Ebel said it out loud right in front of the whole class. Nobody likes sitting there, she said. It was like he wasn't even there. It's bad enough when a kid says something like that. But a teacher? It must have hurt his feelings, said Carla. No, he just smiled. He may have been smiling on the outside, but do you think he was really smiling on the inside? I don't know. I guess not. I guess that's why I tried to be friends with him. I told him I liked sitting next to him, but then he said, "Give me $1 or I'll spit on you." What did he do? What did you do? I gave him $1. I didn't want him to spit on me, but later he said, "I'll give you $1 to be my friend." So I took it. It was my dollar. So does that mean I have to be his friend even though I just broke even? What do you think friendship is? Carla asked him. I don't know. I mean, I know what it is, but I can't explain it. Is it something you can buy and sell? Can you go to the store and get a quart of milk, a dozen eggs, and a friend? Jeff laughed. No, so does that mean I don't have to be friends with him? I won't tell you what to do, said Carla. All I can do is help you think for yourself. I don't even know if Bradley wants to be my friend, said Jeff. Today at recess we hung around together, but we didn't do anything. He acted like I wasn't there. Then when it started to rain, he ran around trying to push little kids into the mud. Could you share your feelings with him? Asked Carla. That's the real way to build a friendship, by talking and being honest, by sharing your feelings. Like the way we're talking and being honest with each other now. That's why we're friends. But Brad's different than you and me, said Jeff. I think you'll find that if you're nice to Bradley, he'll be nice to you. If you are honest and friendly with him, he will be honest and friendly with you. It's just like with the dollar. You always break even. Jeff smiled. Are you going to see Bradley too? He asked. Yes, later today. Do you think you'll be able to help him? I don't know. I hope so. I think he needs help even more than me. You won't tell him anything I said, will you? No, that's one of my most important rules. I never repeat anything anyone tells me here around the round table. Never? She shook her head. What about to the other teachers? She shook it again. What about to the principal? Nope. Okay, said Jeff. He took a breath. Here goes. He grimaced. On the way here, I got a little lost and accidentally went into the girls' bathroom. He covered his face with his hands. Mrs. Ebel was teaching geography. Everybody in the class had a map of the United States on his or her desk. Bradley's map was different from all the others. California was above Wisconsin. Florida stuck out of Texas. He picked up his pair of scissors and carefully cut out Tennessee. He was a good cutter. The edge of his scissors never left the black line. He wondered what was happening to Jeff. He knew he was at the counselor's office. He imagined she was doing all kinds of horrible things to him. He had tried to tell Jeff at recess not to go see her. He taped Tennessee to Washington. He had a very messy paper. His piece of tape twisted and stuck to itself. He looked up as Jeff entered the room and watched him hang the hall pass on the hook behind Miss Ebel's desk. Then he looked away as Jeff headed for the seat next to him. When the bell rang for lunch, he shoved his map into his desk and pulled out his paper sack. Because of the rain, everyone had to eat inside in the auditorium. He and Jeff walked there together, sort of. He's walking next to me, Bradley thought, but I'm not walking next to him. The auditorium was hot, steamy, and noisy. Long tables with benches had been set up across the room. Where do you want to sit? Asked Jeff. Bradley ignored him. He stood on his tiptoes and looked around the room as if he was trying to locate his real friends, and we know he doesn't have it. Jeff walked away and sat at one of the tables. Bradley walked behind where Jeff was sitting. I think I'll sit here, he said aloud, as if he didn't know Jeff was there. He stepped over the bench and sat down next to him. Hi, said Jeff. Brad faced him for the first time. Oh, it's you, he said. They ate their lunch. What are you eating? Asked Jeff. Peanut butter sandwich, said Bradley. As he spoke, bits of peanut butter and bread flew from his mouth. What about you? Tuna fish, said Jeff. Bradley swallowed his food and said, I hate tuna fish. My mother makes it good, said Jeff. She chops apples in it. I hate apples, said Bradley. He sucked the last drop of milk through his straw, then continued to suck, making a gurgling noise. Sitting 2 tables away from Jeff and Bradley were 3 girls, Melinda Birch, Lori Weston, and Colleen Varigold. They were talking and laughing about something funny that happened to Colleen that morning. Colleen, who had red hair and a freckled face, covered her mouth with her hand and said, There he is, she whispered. It's him. Where? Asked Lori. Don't look at him, said Colleen. He's sitting right there, next to Bradley Chalkers. Bradley Chalkers, said Lori. I think I'm going to throw up. Don't look, whispered Colleen. I think Colleen might think that Jeff is kind of cute. Bradley stopped sucking on his straw. What'd the counselor do to you? He asked. Jeff shrugged. Nothing. Did she yell a lot? Was she mean? Was she ugly? No, she was nice. I think you'll like her. Me, said Bradley. I'm not going to go see her. I didn't do anything wrong. She's good at helping you solve your problems, said Jeff. I don't have any problems, said Bradley. He bit ferociously into a red, delicious apple. I thought you said you hated apples, said Jeff. Bradley shoved the apple back inside the paper sack. That wasn't an apple, he said. It was a banana. Jeff's face suddenly changed color, first white and then bright red. Oh, I think he sees you, says Melinda. Lori laughed. Colleen blushed. Come on, said Lori. Let's go talk to him. She stood up. Lori Weston was a short, skinny girl with long, straight black hair. Melinda got up from the table, too. She was nearly twice the size of Lori. She had short brown hair. No, don't go, pleaded Colleen. What's the matter? Asked Bradley. Nothing, said Jeff. So did I miss anything in class? No, Mrs. Ebel gave everybody a map. I got one. Don't lose it, said Bradley. Mrs. Ebel wants them back. Brad cut his up. The 2 girls were giggling behind them. Jeff and Bradley turned around. Colleen thinks you're cute, said Lori. Jeff blushed. Whew, he asked. The girls laughed. What's your name? Asked Melinda. Jeff blushed again. Colleen wants to know, said Lori. Then she and Melinda laughed again. He doesn't have a name, said Bradley, coming to Jeff's rescue. He hated Lori. She had the biggest mouth in the whole school. She was always laughing, too. He could hear her laugh from one end of the school to the other. Ew, Bradley Chalkers, said Lori, holding her nose. Lori Loudmouth, said Bradley. We're not talking to you, Bradley, said Melinda. Get out of here or I'll punch your face in, he replied. You wouldn't hit a girl, said Melinda. That's what you think, and he shook his fist. Melinda and Lori backed away. We only wanted to know his name. And what he was doing in the girls' bathroom, screeched Lori. The 2 girls laughed and ran to Colleen. Bradley slowly turned and looked at Jeff, amazed. Jeff sat with his head on the table and his arms over his head. You went into the girls' bathroom? Bradley asked. So what? Said Jeff from under one elbow. Carla says. Me too, declared Bradley. I go all the time. I like to make them scream. He smiled at Jeff. So, do you really think Bradley's been in the girls' bathroom many times? You have to decide. Let me know what you think. Bye.